Hello, good afternoon. Coming to you late for my live, as per usual, every week. I'll just hang out for just a second. Hello. Hi. People are showing up. It's awesome. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the sensation I've been discussing or hinting at in my post this last week. So I don't know if you caught the reel that I did. Hi, Mickle Freed. I actually love your Instagram handle, and that's what I think your name is when I see your face, because I think your Instagram handle is so funny. Anyway, back on topic. So this past week, I talked a little bit about the bones in your hand, what they are, where they are, how many you have in different places. And I also spoke, hi Dahlia and Sandra, I also spoke really briefly in an Instagram story about the sensation of making contact with this little, they call it a tuberosity, on your phalange. So if you could see the bones of my fingers, there's actually like an extra little ledge on the very end of them. And I have been exploring recently, well, for several months, how to really make contact with my instrument using those ledges. Because when we have this bone connection, whether we're sitting, whether we're walking, if you think about walking barefoot versus walking with your shoes on, the type of contact or the type of feedback you get through your body when your bone is making a little bit more concrete or concise contact is a much different experience than if you are not making that type of contact. So on Instagram, I was talking about the power that I was feeling off my fingerboard and the string by actually utilizing that little ledge in my fingertip. Okay, it took me a long time to get there. It took me a long time to understand. It took me a couple months. It wasn't like a week-long thing. That there's a certain angle that if you're a violin player, if you put your finger on the string at certain angles, you get a very different sensation off the string. You get a very different sensation through kind of up your arm, radiating up your arm. And that really plays into this feedback loop that we're kind of making with our body and our instrument and our music. So if you haven't figured it out already, I'm impressed. This summer I have put together a program called the Painfree Performer that is really, at its core, it's about addressing musicians have when they play. It's also optimizing what you do, right? So having pain or discomfort is a block in how well you can do what you do, right? We all, if you think back on a time in your life where you've been in pain, whether you pulled a muscle at the gym and you were just like a little sensitive or tender the next day, or maybe you broke a bone and you had to have it in a cast, or maybe you had an ongoing injury that you were just tender with and mindful about how you use that part of your body. People who experience lumbar spine discomfort, this is, can be a nagging issue every day of their life, and it does affect how you do things, what you do, and how well you can do it. So when you think about music making, yes, we don't want pain when we play our instruments, number one. We can't play at our best if we're constantly fighting these sensations of discomfort and pain. Dis-ease is what I like to say, not disease, but dis-ease in our body. It's a roadblock. But there are other forms of optimizing what we play beyond getting rid of pain. And when you think about what does it mean to you to play optimally, or what does it mean to optimize your music making experience? Okay, yeah, now we've talked about pain. What else? What else is it involved in making it better? When I think about it, I actually wrote a little list so I didn't forget. I think about the energy I have when I'm practicing and I'm feeling my best about playing the violin. I have the energy to go longer. I have the energy in rehearsal to focus and to concentrate and to kind of like an Energizer bunny, like just keep going and going and going, okay? And I have a certain amount of stamina, both mentally and physically, that goes along with that. I also have a sense of freedom, a sense of less stiffness. So being more, with this freedom comes like a sense of confidence on stage, or a comfort, or an ease, and an innate sense of power and ownership over the music. Like I don't feel like I'm going to walk out and have a block. I'm not concerned about, oh, if I can't move this far just because at this range of motion, blah blah blah, I can't move, all those little nagging things. And at the very core of optimizing my playing or optimizing music making is joy. It's a love for what I'm doing. That's there at the core of what it is that I'm doing. Almost without exception, can you have a fully optimized music making experience if you don't love what you're doing? Actually, that's a great question. If anybody has any thoughts on that, I would love to hear them. Right? The sound my instrument is creating, or the sound I'm creating with my instrument, direct reflection of how I am interacting with my instrument. So if how I'm interacting with my instrument is causing pain and discomfort, I'm also getting that back in the feedback of my sound, the feedback of my perception of playing music. If I'm playing music and I can feel the vibration of the string in the tuberosity or the ledge at the end of my finger, and I can feel that resonance coming up into my body, it's an incredible feeling. It's exciting. It's full of just energy. I have a hard time explaining it. It feels so powerful. But just as much what's coming up my arm, I have to have as much command going to the instrument, right? So if it's by luck that I'm hitting that part of my finger that's giving this feedback, then I can't control it. I can't guarantee a great experience every time because I don't know how to always get it. It happened by luck. And part of this training, this pain-free performer program this summer, is to actually train you how to access these different approaches, literal approaches with your body. How to train your hand, the way your fingers come on the string, or the way they hit the keys, or the way they grab the slide on your trombone, or whatever your instrument is, the way they hit the piano keys. How to train them to always work in the best way possible. So I could play a note, and for instance, maybe my finger is on the string like this, okay? And I can play it in tune, and it'll sound good to everybody. And I'm not in pain, and it's fine. But if I can access the power from that little ledge, and again, I'll keep talking about this because it's such a game changer. If I can access the power in that ledge, all of a sudden, the note isn't just right here in my finger. The note is all the way up my arm to my core. With my finger, literally my toes. How I stand on the floor can send my hand to a place that affects how I make contact with the string. It's a huge, feedback loop that we're cultivating. That is an optimization of music making. Looping back is fueling what you forward, right? So, and everything is intentional. It's not an accident. It's not one day you wake up and you're like, oh, it's never felt this great, and you can't recreate it. Every time you pick up your instrument, you know kind of the channels or the phases or the experience that you need in your body to create and cultivate that type of musical experience. So I wrote a couple notes about this. When you're coming, hi Bill, nice to see you. When you are making contact and your shoulder isn't working ideally, kind of put a roadblock in that feedback loop. Let's say your shoulder has to be in its position in order to support your instrument on your shoulder, or hold your instrument, or if you're a bassoon or saxophone, more like this. But let's say you're getting a lot of discomfort in your shoulder. Can we create a healthier feedback loop within your body, within your music making experience, by giving you more support somewhere else? So on one hand, yes, we're talking about your fingertip on your instrument. On the other hand, we're actually talking about everything behind or farther up the chain. All of those things have to support one another. You can't just have beautiful fingertips if your hands aren't working, you can't just have beautiful fingertips too hard or you're not getting enough support. They do affect and impact each other. So when I think about an optimized music making experience, for me, it's a full body experience. When I think about a full body experience, it's not just a physical sensation. It's happening on multiple levels, right? I'm totally engaged with my mind. I'm totally engaged with my emotions and way of sensing the music and intention of what I'm trying to do. And I'm totally engaged on a physical level where everything is participating fully in this feedback loop, right? I'm putting my finger down, I'm experiencing the music and the sound I want to hear, and my body is then continuing this process. So there's no breaks in the sound, if that makes sense. So there's no breaks in the intention of the experience. This experience from a player's perspective is just as powerful to an audience. It's not that I'm cultivating my own experience and I'm going to walk off stage and be like, I made full body music and I feel amazing. And the audience is like, I didn't notice at all. I just fell asleep. When you see those performers you love, hi Julie, really going after all of the things that inspire you. Think about the people who get on stage and they're giving it their all. The people who don't hold back, the people who just, you're like, how does that even come out of them like that? It's a full body experience for them. And it's a full body experience for you watching it. It's just as powerful. If we in this feed our own music making self, it's a block. And at the end of the day, when we get on stage as musicians, we're there to cultivate that relationship with an audience. We're not there to just, maybe some of us are, I don't know. We're not just there to just hang out by ourselves and show off. We're cultivating a relationship. We're cultivating a relationship that happens on my experience of the music at that time. But as we all know, music touches us and moves with us through our lives, throughout our days. I still think about performances themselves, not just the music performed, but the performance and the performer itself, that I still cling to as a life-changing experience, totally altering what I love or how I perceived of a piece. So this full body experience in the audience is just as powerful. It's limitless. It's a tangible sensation, things working for one purpose on stage. It's not energy misdirected in a multitude of ways, and the piece at the end of the day is the piece. It's everything working towards one intention, and that's amazing. Titled to discuss that one component that can get in the way of optimizing music making. Pain is one of the number one barriers, and it's often a barrier that sends people outside of making their lives in music. So that's the title of it. But I can guarantee that within this program this summer, whether you experience pain or not, your music making will reach a new level. It will level up in ways that you might not expect. The way you approach your instrument for your own personal experience will change. The way you choose to engage with your own practice routine will change. The education and the information that you receive in this course will change how you interact with your students and how you engage with other musicians. You'll start to see what is working so well in performers you love. You'll start to have answers for your students if maybe they're reaching roadblocks that you don't know how to address with them. It will change how you interact with your audience. It will optimize and up-level your on-stage experience simply because you have more capacity to perform at your best. And that is the most empowering and exciting tool a musician can have. To be able to walk on stage and know I can use everything from my very, very distal phalanges to make this music at the level and even beyond that I want to make it at. So at the end of the day, a full body and optimized music making experience is empowering. It's an experience that gives you as the performer as much control and as many options as possible. You're not in a box anymore. You understand how the parts work together. You understand how to add a little bit more here, how to use a little bit more there. You understand the power in your legs that can generate up into your clarinet, your oboe, your voice, your cello, double bass, guitar. How to use your body to enhance that feedback loop. That's what it's about. So if you're compelled to learn more, I love that, and I love talking about it. Please get in touch with me. You can DM me, leave a comment on this video. There is a link in my bio to sign up for more info via email, and I would invite you to do that because I share exciting things first with my email list, second on social media if I do it, but to guarantee you know everything, I would just sign up there. The program starts June 7th, so we're just over a month away. It's filling up, so I wouldn't wait. If you're on the fence about it, at least reach out to get more information. I would love to connect with you. Enrollment ends June 1st. So after that, the train has left the station, and I hope you're on it because this is going to be amazing. I can't wait to share more about the power in your fingertips and the power in your toes and everything in between. Okay, that's it. I'll see you next Monday. I'll say 12 right now, but we all know I'm going to be late, so bear with me. And have a beautiful week.